Okay, imagine on the stage, I had a box, a typical traveling suitcase. It can hold an approximate 0.05 cubic meters worth of volume, which means technically, if I really wanted to, I could squeeze myself into that box, but it would be very uncomfortable, suffocating, and a downright ridiculous endeavor. But the huge question I think we should all ask ourselves is why? Why would I choose to limit myself to this tiny box when I have this whole stage to walk on? This whole room to wander in, the earth, the universe. Space in itself is infinite. What's even more ridiculous is the fact that every day, billions of people choose to limit their ever-dynamic minds into this tiny box of false, misleading, and detrimental news. My name is Jadesola Okunubi, and today we're delving into the world of Brainwashing 101, the nooks and crannies into making anyone believe anything you want them to. But first, let's start from scratch. Bias is an inherent trait in all human beings. As humans, we tend to hold on to a set of values, morals, beliefs, ideologies, and traditions which we believe are superior over others. At the end of the day, we're all like little whiny children. It's either our way or the highway. This is where confirmation bias comes to play. It may sound like a complex sociology term, but once broken down, it's relatively easy to comprehend. Human beings tend to cherry-pick information in order to support their pre-existing beliefs or ideologies. Simply put, if I want to believe something, I'm going to get any piece of information which can support my traits. Let's paint a scenario. We have person A and person B, Taiwo and Kende, twins. Apologies to all the Taiwos and Kendes out there. Taiwo believes that, both of them believe that the weather determines their mood for the day. So Taiwo wakes up, he had a very restful night, he stretches, he opens the window, and this beautiful ray of sunlight hits him flat on the face. He looks up, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, the clouds are just right. In his mind, he knows he's going to have a beautiful day because the weather was beautiful. Candy, on the other hand, didn't have such a restful night. She wakes up more stressed than she was before she went to bed. So we can safely say that she woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Candy wakes up, stretches, opens that same window. But that ray of sunshine that was beautiful for Taiwo is burning her skin. The sun seems harsh and cruel. She has decided to interpret that weather differently, and she believes she's going to have a horrible day. So same weather, two very different interpretations. But bias isn't all bad. In fact, it's what helps us survive as long as we have as human beings. Economically, we have to make choices every day, but without bias, we're starting our decision-making from scratch. That means we're weighing the pros and the cons each time we make a decision. Without this, we'll never be able to reach conclusions because we believe everything is valuable. Bias helps us make adequate choices based on our pre-existing experiences. But we are not cavemen. We have two things they had that we don't. We have two things that they never had. We have more time than they ever did, and we have technology. Insert social media. Let's say I really enjoy dancing, for instance. I open my YouTube. Most of the time, you see a lot of dance videos. You see things based on what you do, based on your history. I open my Instagram, dance pictures. I open my Twitter, dance tweets. At a point, it becomes overwhelming. This is a phenomenon known as filter bubbles. We're surrounded by the same piece of information every day. So everything is repeated over and over and over again. Remember how I spoke about brainwashing? This is where it comes in place. Brainwashing occurs when a lie is told to us so many times we start to believe it's the truth. And this happens more often than you think. It doesn't have to be extreme as jumping off the mountain to prove that the earth is flat. It happens every day, even with elections. How many times did you actually do your base research on the other candidates? You tended to get information based on what you wanted to believe about your candidate. So how do you get out of this tiny, terrible box of brainwashing? Very simple. Before you start to believe information, verify. Very easy to. The internet has made fact checkers more readily available than ever before. So you can input information and find out if it's true or not on various sites. Another thing, before you form an opinion on a new concept, don't meet someone that is overly passionate about it. Meet someone that has a very unbiased view, someone very neutral, like a Switzerland in any of the world wars. This person will most of the time give you an unbiased view, weighing both the pros and the cons of the situation. So there you have it, how to escape brainwashing. There's something beautiful about poetry, though. I have one here by Sharon L. Alanda. Read it with sorrow, and you will feel hate. Read it with anger, and you will feel vengeful. Read it with paranoia, and you will feel confusion. Read it with empathy, and you will feel compassion. Read it with love, and you will feel flattery. Read it with hope, and you will feel positive. Read it with humor, and you will feel joy. Read it without bias, and you will feel peace. But if you don't read it at all, you will not feel a thing. Thank you so much.